And you're like, I'm pretty sure the stars say, because back then they followed kind of where the stars were. And so they'd get up to the top of this mountain, and they'd be like, okay, all right, there's Jerusalem. I'm going to get reoriented. You know, there it is. Okay, now I can continue.
All right.
Right?
Yes.
So the fifth thing is to get oriented. To kind of, because when you're in your desert times, your wilderness times, you get disoriented.
Yes, you do.
Come on.
Things aren't always exactly what they seem. Things aren't always, you're not exactly sure. You start to get spiritually confused. So you get that mountaintop time. God pulls you into the mountain experience, and you're like, okay, there's Jerusalem. There it is. Okay, now I got it. Now I'm good. Now I know where I'm going.
Yes.
When I was doing archaeology, we had this, we used surveying equipment, right? Because we had to have our grid set up just exactly. It had to be just exactly, because if you were off, even just like a centimeter, when you think about the curvature of the earth and going a distance, what you thought was off just a centimeter will be off, like a circle, right? When you start to have the rays of the circle, you think you're just in the beginning, like the point of your pie, but by the time you get to the end of the pie, you're way over here, right? And you intended to be over here, and you meant to be over here, and you were just a little bit off, and everything you were doing was okay, and it all sounded good, and I wasn't doing anything sinful, and I wasn't really doing anything wrong, but I just was faced just a hair the wrong way. So when you project it out along a distance, you get further and further and further off till you can't even figure out which point you're supposed to be at, right? So it's your orientation. You get on that mountain and you're like, aha, there's Jerusalem, I got it. I get reoriented. Or maybe you were pointed at Jerusalem the whole time. And that's good if you were, but not all of us can keep our eye on Jerusalem when we're in the desert, right? All right, so those were our 5 things. To meet with God, to get instruction, to get built up and encouraged, covenants are renewed, and to get oriented, right?
Yes.
But on the mountain, you don't get to live there.
Come on.
You don't get to live there. That's one of those temporary vacation spots, right?
Come on.
And a true mountaintop experience, it can't be forced.
No.
You go when God says go.
Yes.
Because if it was up to me, I wouldn't see any of you. I'd be in my house talking to God. Me and God, leg hair growing long, not having a shower. Just me and God talking.
Hallelujah.
Gazing on God like that song I played today. I know you all haven't heard that before, but I don't know. I just like it.
Hallelujah.
So I'd be gazing at God and not eating. I'd be all skinny like a top model. And I'd be looking at God all day. Right? So in Exodus 19, we'll go back there. If you want. I'm going to read it. So, here in verse 12 and 13, he talks about that forced experience and putting limits on your mountaintop experience. So verse 12 says, but put limits for the people around the mountain and tell them, be careful that you do not go up the mountain or touch the foot of it. Whoever touches the mountain shall surely be put to death. He shall surely be stoned or shot with arrows. Not a hand is to be laid on him. Whether man or animal, he shall not be permitted to live. Only when the ram's horn sounds, a long blast may go up the mountain. So God put parameters on it. They couldn't go up. They couldn't even touch the mountain that Moses was Mount Sinai, right? They weren't allowed near it. So then in verse 21, and he said to him, go down and warn the people so they do not force their way through to see the Lord, and many of them perish. So here he's given the same warning again. Right? And in verse 24, go down and bring Aaron up with you, but the priests and the people must not force their way through to come up to the Lord, or he will break out against them. Right? So, as good as the mountaintop experience is, we get it when God said we get it. And sure, there are things we can do in our spiritual life that get us closer to God. But a true mountaintop experience where God and you are just talking and you are hearing from the Lord and everything is perfect, that is divine. I mean, we can have good days where things are good and we're having a good time and everything's going well. But to really have those good mountaintop experiences when God is really speaking to you.
Right.
So if you don't live on the mountain, where do you live?
In the valley.
The valley, the desert, the wilderness. There's several names for it, right? Oh, no. All right. right, so we're on the mountain, but we got to go back to the valley. We got to go back to the wilderness.
Yes.
Because that's where we live.
Yes.
Nobody in the Bible lived on the mountain. They all lived in the wilderness, the valley, the desert, wherever, right? The mountaintop was for special times. It was for special occasions. Or, you know, when Abraham and Isaac had to go up to the mountain for the sacrifice.
Yes.
You know, Abraham had to get reoriented.
Yes.
So he had to go up to that mountain.
Right.
And he had to obey.
Yes.
To get reoriented.
Come on.
So most of our lives are spent in the desert, right? So what do we do with the desert? Do not waste your wilderness experience.
Please. Please don't.
Your wilderness experience, when wilderness experiences are more than just everyday life, it's when things are really bad. It's almost like your Job experience. It's like, well, I don't know what's going on here. The world has supernaturally collapsed in on itself. I don't know what's going on.
No.
What do you do with that? I got 5 things for you to remember about your wilderness experience.
All right.
Ready? About your desert.